guess for a summary, if you want a quick summary.
Yeah. Go ahead if you want to start.
So right now, what we're reviewing are what Sergeant Drake Alexander is essentially penning down is the events of the Battle of Steshtavan, which is a huge event in Heroscape history where, essentially the first fruits of the Alliance take place. All right, so this is after Jandar and Alar have met and already made contact, so the two of them are now teamed up to fight, and so they are all planning. They basically, the first battle almost looked like it was lost because they did a bottleneck technique, right? They pulled them in, made them chase them all the way into a valley, and then surrounded them on all sides with the Templars, the Vipers, and everything. And it was just, Uthgar lost that particular fight. And this is, from what we understand in the story, this is the first time the good guys are actually winning, essentially. This is the first time they've got any sort of, forward motion in terms of fighting the bad guys. And so the second part that we're about to read is a sneak attack attempt, right? So while everyone was fighting each other in the valley, Drake and a group of people decide to break into Uthgar's camp, and they're trying to see if they can assassinate the big guy himself. So,
all right,
that's where we're at.
And so, yeah, that's right. So, journal entry number 26. So, let me see here. Now, I'm going to give my voice a little bit of a break. Let me see how many paragraphs do we have here. Okay. So, since Jason came in late, wink wink, I'm gonna have him start reading. We're gonna have him read the first three paragraphs there. That just finishes off that page in journal entry 26. If you're up for it, Jason, go ahead.
All right. From the pen of Sergeant Drake Alexander. Uthgar's soldiers swarm about the camp. Chaos breaks out, but our troops are keeping their wits about them and dealing with the situation. Sullivan and I dive deeper in the disorganized scattering of blackened tents. The air here is so thick with foul stench that I can taste it. The last bit of sun ducks down under the horizon and the stars begin sparkling to life. We've all but cleared out the immediate threats, but still no one has spotted any sign of Uthgar's presence here, nor the presence of any of his leaders. A blood-curdling scream breaks through the dusky silence. Now again, from another direction comes a piercing scream. I look over to meet Sullivan's eyes. In unspoken agreement, we both head in the direction of the last scream. Rounding a tent, we set eyes upon one of the MacDurks. The sight turns my stomach. He lies on the ground, twisted up in an unnatural position, his face frozen in complete terror, his entire body a ghostly white as if drained of all blood. Another scream rings out from behind. I twist on my heels in time to see another of our soldiers fall. As a flash of black and red, it jumps away over a tent and out of sight. I sprint in the direction the blur headed. Sullivan followed closely behind. Frantically, I dart out from behind one tent after another, finding nothing.
All right. Creepy. All right. Jeremy, do you think you can finish the rest of the entry for 26?
Where my lungs burn?
Yes. You start.
All right. My lungs burn for oxygen. I stop to catch my breath, pulling air in haggard grasps, hands on my knees. Son of a! I lost Sullivan. I turn looking for my partner, but what I find standing behind me makes my heart stop. Overwhelming fear seeks to overtake me as a tall figure wrapped in a cape stalks forward slowly. Why am I not reacting? I should be drawing my blade. I can't move. I grind down on my teeth, forcing my mouth to close and my brow to furrow in rage. I swallow down the fear and draw my blade just as the monster reaches a bony hand out for my throat. Moving like lightning, the dark-haired man's cape is all my sword catches, as he leaps backwards with inhuman speed and strength. Now his full form is revealed. He wears armor of red and black. Hanging on his sides are two large, nasty-looking blades. His face is a pale white, like that of his victims. A slow smile crosses his visage, revealing a set of fanged teeth. With a low and soothing voice, he speaks. We meet at last.
Nice.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Lord Cyprien Esenwein, And I've come. I don't give a rip who you are. I fire at him with my grappling gun. He turns and leans to one side, narrowly avoiding my projectile. Well, away with the formalities then. Cyprien ducks forward, and with a jump and a twist, he dives at me faster than I can react. Midair, and in a blink of an eye, he draws a sword in each hand, spins to one side, and strikes. Both blades slide along my right arm at the shoulder. The arm goes numb. I drop my sword. His face is inches from mine. His black holes for eyes swallow my soul. I look into my own death. My head swims, my will gives way. Looking up, I see that the moon is full. Silhouetted against the moonlight is the form of an angel come to take me away. All goes black. Yeah, I love the scene. It's so cool. Yeah, I just had to put some oomph into that.
Horror. Yeah. The horror.
You want to continue?
Yeah, okay. Joe, if you want to continue, go ahead.
I'll wrap it up.
All right.
When I wake, my senses are overloaded with bright light and extreme pain. I reach for my wounded shoulder, but a soft hand holds onto mine. She leans her head forward and blocks out the sun. My eyes adjust to see her face. Raylan, it was you. You were my angel. Your what? Never mind. How is it you took on the pale-skinned fellow? I wasn't alone. He flew off when he spotted us, faster than the wind that one was. But I sent with a spear wound as a parting gift. Ha! The laughter brings a new swell of pain. My arm. Is it going to be all right? Our new friend Zetacron here has an answer for you. When he's done patching you up, we need to make haste to Anund on orders of Jandar. Great trouble is stirring here. Jandar's visions turn toward the jungles of the south.
All right. And so that is 26. Now who's that bad guy we're talking about? And Jeremy, I gotta say, Hexala, I'm gonna repeat this. Jeremy, I know you weren't auditioning, but for those who don't know, Cyprien Esenwein is probably going to be one of the main villains for the next few seasons of Tales of the Aftermath Chronicles, and yeah, that was a pretty good audition there, Jeremy. I mean, I actually was looking at other guys, to take that role, but dang, that wasn't.
Yeah, he was looking at Brad Pitt. I was saying the cast list is nuts.
Wasn't too shabby.
I have a weird history when it comes to just just vampire culture in general.
Pennsylvania.
I watched all the movies. Van Helsing is one of my favorite movies of all time. I will watch. I can quote everything, watch it in word by word kind of thing. I've played all the Castlevania games. I just have this thing with vampires. They're just super cool. So when I'm like, oh, he speaks. Are you doing this?
Doing it, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
you did it.
I had to do some sort of vampire accent. So, but yeah.
Now go ahead, Josiah. Go ahead.
Oh, I just love how Zetacron, the robot with no hands, is capable of inventing grapple guns and being a medic. It's just the funniest thing to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, but yeah, because that's actually a really important thing. So
creates new tech,
in the process,
basically.
Yeah, in the process of what do you say? This is like one of those climax. It's just like, turn of the story events in terms of Heroscape, because they took this a whole nother level, right? Not only is Cyprien Esenwein an actual character you can play in the game, Sergeant Drake Gallagher got a second version, right? And in the second version, you see the robot arm, right? So yeah, this robot. Man, my camera's weird. There it goes. Yeah, the robot arm you see there, it's a little blurry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? That robot arm in the second edition.
Yep.
Right, this is second edition Drake. That robot arm is what they're talking about. So not only did they made it canonical. His design is canonical to the story. You're like, where did his robot arm come from? Now it's because he fought a vampire and almost lost. Yeah, he would have died. That's the thing. Drake was gonna die, and then Raylan saved him. So
his arm died, basically.
His arm got out of it. Yeah, he lost he lost function of his arm because it got numbed, and I think they're
Then
trying
he went
to,
full
it was
Luke
their way of
Skywalker
describing
and got
Are they trying to
Zedeckon.
say the chilling touch did that?
chilling touch. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're saying
there you
chilling
go.
touch did
Yeah.
that to his arm. Mhm.
Interesting.
I always imagine like Batman, the third one, where he like has that like suit that like braces his legs just to keep on being Batman type of deal. I always think it's interesting that death is kind of permanent in Valhalla. You know, sometimes it seems like you die, you get summoned back, and it kind of it's just like an eternal war. But it does seem like you die, you're gone.
Some
type of deal.
like Dark Warriors did not get the right end of the stick there.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I think, and they've always had like various ways of dealing with what happens to someone on Valhalla when they get that. And I've seen different like depictions of it, but for the most part, I think canonically, if you do die in Valhalla, you're done. Like that's
Well,
your second chance is over.
Like Sven says at the end of season 10, if Valhalla we die, then where do we go? Or as Joe Crazy could probably like quote that better than I could, because that's his character voice. But in Valhalla, if we all die, then where do we go? You know.
Right.
Although the Wellspring, I'd say the Wellspring War kind of answers that a little bit, even if it's a non-canon story. It kind of answers that pretty well. Anyway, but back to this. One question I wanted to ask when it came to this particular passage, was this written before, like Zedeckon and Cyprien Esenwein and even McDurk Wars before they were released?
I want to say it was because Zedeckon didn't come out till 2007 or 8 was. Actually, hey, fun new little update I found out from Heroscape.org. They have the dates of everything that came out. Like, I don't know how Chris Perkins found all that info, but that was cool. I like that stuff.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Zedeckon came out in 2008. And I want to say that these journals are definitely released before 2008 because I do remember reading these a while ago. And it was just kind of set. I want to say Cyprien was already out, but not Zedeckon yet. But these are faded memories I have to go off of, so I'm like trying to go back and think.
No, your best guess is fine.
Because all of this was on the main website. To put that, like, we had access to this. Like, we could just go to Heroscape.org and pop all of this up, and then the Heroscaper, what we're reading from, are the guides that we use. The PDFs are Heroscapers who copied and pasted that onto a PDF format, so it would be easier for other people who now that the website's gone, right? But or repurposed, because now you type in Heroscape.com, you go to the Renegade website, which that was a pretty cool thing. I thought that was a cool idea. They bought the old domain or whatever, they reconnected it to Renegade. That was cool. So. But all of this was on the website, so it was like, you know, good old information to kind of look forward to.
And Jason, what did you think when you were first reading the first 3 paragraphs? I mean, I think most people would think, you know, even though it doesn't even say it in this whole segment, but once you get to a certain point, you think vampire. It's got to be a vampire. There's got to be a vampire that is doing this. What do you think, Jason?
I would probably agree with you. But the sketch right there shows the vampire character. I'm probably looking on a different website. I'm on the wiki, so it's got a sketch of the vampire character right next to it, so it kind of ruins it. But
yeah, I mean, it is a sketch, but
that's
it's hard to tell it's a vampire, though. And you see Raylan in the background,
it's pretty obvious.
actually.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't see fangs there. It's
Hi, chat, please tell me, help me out here.
Or maybe it's just
Does
my
that not
eyesight.
look like a vampire? Does that not already look like Cyprien? Like, come on now. Who are we joking?
The website I'm on identifies it as Cyprien, so that's why I knew who it was.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is. And then
I don't know.
Raylan is back there as well.
So
it's kind of cool you got Raylan back there too, as well, chasing him. So yeah.
Yeah, Raylan. And so, as a reminder, Raylan is arriving at the scene after she was brought to the attention of the Wellspring visions, right? So like Jandar had visited Thormun, and they all got together and they're like, hey, so guess what? We just realized this is a big deal. So Raylan is now traveling and arriving to the scene of the Battle of Stetchavon to be like, hey, Drake, we gotta go. And so it's really funny because, I mean, this war is active. Like, I mean, they got thousands of people fighting right now, and Raylan shows up, saves him, right? I mean, like, talk about nick of time, and then goes, hey, we gotta go. So it's like, imagine if you're just trying to do your job, and then you're like, you almost died, but now you got the person that saved you is taking you out. Like, Yeah, right.
That is war.
That's how war works.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like it was the last podcast. It was this is how babies are made. Now this podcast, it's this is how war works. You know, it just you can't.
This is war never changes.
These are Joe's quotables. You know,
Get him on a shirt.
Joe's quotables.
Love it.
Oh, anyway, anything else to say about this before we move on to the next one?
You just see the narrative. It definitely is ripe for multimedia storytelling. You definitely. I'm logging for the day where there's where Renegades decides, you know what, we can make a limited animated web series again, or we can make, you know, someone. I think there's a fun story to be had here, and Cyprien's just a scary dude.
I think we have a higher chance of them making an RPG out of this than a TV show.
That would
Probably.
be nice. Actually, I
mean, they tried the TV show. They had the webisodes. You know, those did go on air.
I'm even with that, Jeremy. I think we have a higher chance of Renegade putting their money towards doing an RPG so they can sell it to us.
They already have
over the fact that they can make actual merch for our game and make a television series, a YouTube series.
I get it. Well, YouTube series? What are you talking about? There already is a freaking YouTube series, and nobody pays me.
An animated one that isn't stop motion, so we do not step on the toes of other people that do much better work. How's that sound?
Now you just make me feel bad.
No.
See that big head you wanted me to have at the beginning of that? Now I'm just all deflated now. Now I need the intervention again.
No. Oh my goodness.
Now I'm humbled. Anywho, no, it's good thoughts, guys, though. Good thoughts. So that is looking at journal entry 26 of Thormun's journal.